Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here at MICHauto's annual summit in Detroit, Michigan. And of course, the Grand Poobah at MICHauto, right? Glenn Stevens, thanks for having us down. We always appreciate coming here. Tell us a little bit about today. What year is this now? Is this 5th year, 15th, 25th?
This is year 17 of MICHauto.
Oh, wow.
Right, and we've been doing the summit for about 11 or 12 years. I'd have to look at that. I think it's 12.
Wow.
So this is our 12th year of doing this summit, and we appreciate your support around the state. Thank you,
well,
as
listen,
always.
what you guys are doing here, and you know, we just come here early and kind of cherry pick your crowd. I mean,
quite a crowd, isn't it?
Oh my God, these are the people that know what's going on in the mobility industry.
They do.
So tell us a little bit about today before you get called to your seat. You hear that?
Well, we've got a program really based on what are the major impact issues affecting the auto industry, mobility, and then the state. And those are AI, electrification, tech talent, and really the future of manufacturing in our economy. So all those things are really got significant changes going to them right now, and so that's what we have speakers providing thought leadership and directional thoughts about where we're going.
So who do you have up here today?
Well, I'm really excited about Kathy Stahlgrave. She's the plant director, plant manager for Factory Zero in Hamtramck from GM.
Yep.
Jonathan Prantner from One Magnify on AI. We've got two of our young people who are living, working, building tech careers here, talking about our U-Drive project. And then we've got a variety of other panels and discussions around culture. Guy Gordon's going to moderate a panel about Michigan's manufacturing future and UAW and things like that.
Well, we're excited about what we pick out of here because it's an amazing program. It really is. Are there breakout sessions or anything like that go with this, or is it mostly?
No, it's going to be a pretty fast-moving sessions today. And one of the things that's kind of neat, we have two analysts. You spoke with one of them, Joe McCabe, and John McElroy. They're going to do kind of mini talks, and then they're going to do kind of a pardon the interruption format where it's going to be a lightning round. They'll have a question come at them, and then they're going to have 60 seconds each, all about EVs.
Unbelievable. We got insight into the global market and the competition that's coming too, because that's a big part of this.
Certainly is.
You got a China who's going to come in here.
Well,
This
is not a Michigan automotive bubble.
Yeah.
We have to compete and play on a world stage, which we do. Companies like GM do that, Ford do that. But we also have to make sure that we are also involved in the supply chain of the future, and that means having the battery technology and the battery manufacturing here too. So that'll be discussed.
Well, and we're getting some of that. We're getting some of that coming in. So that's really
the state's
good
doing a great job in that.
Glenn, tell me a little bit about electrification. Has been on everybody's billboard. Tell me about fuel cell. Is there anything happening?
Yeah, you'll hear a little bit about that today too. Hydrogen is a growing technology, primarily in over-the-road trucking. That's where you're going to see it, fleet trucks. But no question, Michigan's making a play to lead in that area too.
Excellent. Listen, you got to run. We're going to cut this short, and I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for your time.
I appreciate you having us here.
We appreciate you guys. Thanks.
All right. Glenn Stevens, head of MICHauto. We are at their annual summit in Detroit, Michigan. I'm Chris Holman. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.
Regional Chamber, Glenn Stevens Jr.
Welcome. It's good to see everybody. I can't believe a year went by that fast, but we were here a year ago. So thanks for joining us. A couple things I want to get out of the way. A couple housekeeping things. Unfortunately, Professor Masters from Wayne State couldn't join us today. But fortunately, I looked through the roster this weekend to see who was here, and I'm like, just in case I need a speaker. So Mike Robinette's going to sit in for him. Mike, thank you for doing that. And so more value add for you. The other thing I want to do is call your attention to the program. And we're going to follow along throughout the day, and we've got a really packed day for you. But a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, thank you to the sponsors. We can't do what we do. We can't have this event. We can't have it in a great facility like this. And it is a great facility without your support, so we really want to thank all the sponsors. Thank you. And the most important group, and most of those sponsors are right on this list too. If we put all the logos on there, they wouldn't fit. So we started with some of our biggest supporters, but we have over 100 stakeholders who invest in MICHauto team's work. And thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause, because thank you, we appreciate you. Next, I want to thank our board of directors, and that's led by Lisa Lunsford, but we have many of them here today with us. We meet quarterly, but we really talk almost daily, weekly, and monthly with this team. And Lisa, we thank you for your guidance. I meet with Lisa and talk with her. And then Russ Gomer, is Russ here? I know he was coming today. Russ, thank you. Russ is retiring, everybody. So, Russ, you've been a great supporter of MICHauto, a well-deserved retirement, and we wish you all the best. And I have your cell phone number in case they need you. So thank you for all your support. Appreciate it. So let me jump in and set the stage a little bit, but I do want to do a little bit of a year in review and kind of talk about some of the critical things. First of all, our mission from day one, when we formed MICHauto with Tom Manganello and some beers in our neighbor's garage, was always been to promote, retain, and grow this industry. It has never changed. We've added the word mobility to the mission statement because things have changed, but in essence, our mission has stayed true for going on about 17 years now. Our focus is pretty consistent with what we've always done too. Convening groups like you, convening leaders, convening students, convening difference makers around the state, working on what next generation mobility is, working on the talent pipeline, and making sure we're advocating for the industry. This is what we do. We're a collective voice, and if you look at the roster of today in the room today, there isn't anybody represented from startups to OEMs, education, government, public-private partnership people. Everybody's in the room here today, and that's what makes our voice strong. So thank you for that. So a couple things about 2023. There's a lot of advocacy work that went on, and Paul Corbett from our team directs that. You're going to hear from Paul later, but probably the piece of legislation that we worked on that I'm most passionate about and I think most proud about was distracted driving. We took a very active role. Many of you in the room were part of that. And this is not just a piece of legislation, this is something that changes lives. So we worked with Steve Kiefer, we worked with General Motors very closely, but many of the tiers, many of the service providers, and many of the legislators joined this cause, and this was signed into law this year, and it's already making a difference. We have a long way to go with regards to the enforcement, but let's all try to be part of the solution, right? So that's a big piece for us this year. Yeah. Around. Secondly, 2 reports. The one on the left is on your table. We put this out about every 18 months, but this is the definitive guide to the industry here in Michigan. And I think we have Allison Poth, and Allison designed the cover. She's a student at Wayne State University, and every year when we do this report, we have a different university student design the cover, and this one was designed by Allison at Wayne State. So Allison, thank you so much for your help. And our digital map has been updated. Any resource, any technical center, any OEM assembly plant, any supplier headquarters, it's all on the digital map. We don't go into too much detail because we don't want the folks from economic development in South Carolina and Ohio to come up and mine our data and take you away from us, but it does give a great roadmap of what's going on in Michigan. Another thing that was very significant was everybody knows that this issue of EV worker and EV labor transition is a big deal, as is e-mobility. So one of the things we try to do is not replicate and duplicate others' efforts. So all of these organizations meet on a bi-monthly basis, actually more frequently than that. Drew Coleman of our team convenes them. Almost all of them are in the room today with us. They're all working in a certain lane on this worker and technology transformation, but we're all talking together. And as we find that a new one comes to the forefront to do work, like the Michigan EV Center or Talent First in Grand Rapids, they're tied in, we have them join this group. And we talk regularly, we share information, and I really think this is a synergistic thing that happens, and we're real proud to be able to help lead this. So last year on this stage, the governor stood here and gave us a grant. We had a plan, we knew what we were going to do with it, and I can tell you that our team and our partners have been extremely busy working on this all year. On top of everything we normally do, we layered in all this. Not going to go through it. We had a plan going into this year, but all of these work streams have been active or engaged in and are almost all complete in one calendar year. We have some things we've proved out, which we're going to continue, But the first one was done in conjunction with Richard Florida, and those of you who saw him speak at Mackinac, this was to look at why does tech talent and why do people want to live, aggregate, and build in communities, and build lives and work for companies. So we really looked at that. I'm going to come back to the results at the end of the day. The middle one was one we've done every 3 years, and we interview and survey 900 students, parents, teachers, and influencers about the perceptions they have about our industry as a career opportunity. So we executed that again. And we did that to help inform some other work you're going to see. And lastly, next week, in partnership with Cadia, we will be releasing a benchmark study, it's never been done before, to look at the diversity quotients and levels at our different automotive companies and our mobility industry. Because how do you know if you're moving the needle if you don't understand what the baseline is? So this study has helped us to do that. We're proud of that, and it's going to be issued very soon. 4 specific things that I want to tell you about is our project with Square One Robotics. This is an important project. This is a Michigan-grown, Michigan-based robotics programs. Listen, we love FIRST Robotics and Vex Robotics, but this is a project and a program we think has a lot of potential. And our goal is to help them double and then triple the number of 150 teams they have around the state. Digital Lakes is a newer organization. We help them with some funding and in partnerships help them launch their micro internship. And I know Jen and Rania and some of the team are here today. In the bottom right, we work with about a consortium of 8 suppliers and a couple OEMs around a playbook for bringing your engineers into the classrooms. That's another pilot project we worked on. And then one of the things you're going to hear about today from some of the people involved in it is the U-Drive project. This is focused on young people that grow up in Michigan. We want them to move here too, but we're really focused on growing our own, developing our own, finding career pathways for them, and showing them that the combination of a tech career in the auto and mobility industry and a pure Michigan lifestyle work really, really well together. And then throughout the year, we've convened. We've convened in Lansing. We've convened executives at Michigan Central. We had an outdoor innovation summit, again, up in Traverse City in conjunction with Brad Garman and the MEDC's outdoor office. We were at Mackinac. We were at Traverse City for our annual reception. Many of you joined us at that. And then the auto show in September with our legislators. So a full year bringing us back here to today. And why are we here today? We really wanted to put a project or a program together for you that address some of the really critical things that are impacting the industry. AI, electrification, hydrogen, manufacturing changes, labor changes, and that talent and the culture for talent. So we built an agenda for you today, and we have lots of networking time, and at the end of the day, we'll have a networking reception too, so we hope you can stay with us. So today, relax, enjoy, tweet if you want, or X, whatever it's called now. MAS23, hashtag MAS23 is the one we're using today, but please share that on social media. It is being live streamed. It'll be available online, all of these presentations on our website at a later date. So thank you and enjoy the day.